With invocation tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to have a moment of silence for our people in Western North Carolina and the people who are in the fires in California. Thank you. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda adoption, additions, deletions, corrections.
Mr. Mayor, we have one item we'd like to add, swearing in a new town clerk this evening. We have to add swearing in a town clerk. We do that.
You want to put that in consent?
No, we'll put it as, item 4A. Then you can do consent after that. So.
Okay.
You're on. So this is Emily Dale. She's taken over, Susan retires at the end of the month. Emily will be our new town clerk and accounting manager for the town. And she's a resident of the town of Triumph.
Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully perform
and that I will faithfully perform
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of accounting manager, town clerk,
of accounting manager, town clerk,
on which I am about to enter,
of which I am about to enter,
according to my best skill and ability, so help me God.
according to my best skill and ability, so help me God.
Okay. Here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're not done.
Chair, will entertain the motion to adopt the agenda.
Make a motion.
All in favor, aye. Opposed likewise, motion carries. Consent, any questions, clarifications? Hearing none, Chair will entertain a motion to adopt consent agenda.
Make a motion.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise, motion carries. Item 6, Jim, update on tropical storm.
We don't have a whole lot to update, as of right now, we have not received any funds from FEMA. None of the other towns, either of the county. But I do want to update, FEMA's going to be in our office on Wednesday and Friday this week. One thing I want to appreciate FEMA's going to do, they're going to load all the data of all the invoices we paid. They'll do all the data entry to ensure that it's loaded properly. I have received indications from FEMA last week that they have money now, they can start releasing money, and we hope to see some shortly. One thing they require canceled checks. So we pay a bill, we have to wait till the check clears and submit the invoice and the canceled check. But that's going to be loaded tomorrow, along with our equipment charges and expenses we incurred already. One of the things I want to share on Harmon Field, a lot of people are saying, why is it taking so long? As you know, we have a lot of mud and debris out there. FEMA wanted the soil to be sampled. We have gotten that done. It came back okay. They also, the contractor we had selected at the last board meeting, got on a project. And so they're going to be starting in, I guess, mid-February. No. Which latest date?
First week,
First, oh, that's good, okay. We get the mud out of there and so forth. We also have to deal with Polk County. Polk County has now came out last week. They want us to get an appraisal of the cabin, the 2 restrooms and the concession stand, possibly the open air gym, that any repairs and improvements we do to any of those assets, if they exceed 50% of that cost, then we're required to tear it down. Because the cabin is located in the immediate flood area. But I also look at, if a negative happens, it's also an opportunity. One thing FEMA wants to work with us on, that if we can't replace the boardwalk, they asked me to get a cost of the boardwalk, which is $162,000, about $100,000 higher than it was 20 years ago when I was here. That money can be transferred elsewhere into the park. So one of the areas that Brad and I are looking seriously at is at the empty library building up there. This may be an opportunity to get that building restored. I think that'd be a great community center for the town in Harmon Field. But like I said, FEMA will be here tomorrow. We have a lot of costs loaded. It is a slow process. I originally anticipated we'd open up the park by March 1st. That date's not going to be met. But Brad's done, he and his staff have done a great job to open a portion of Harmon Field. And so that's all a plus. But we like to get the rest of the park open as soon as we can. And then once the mud's out of there, we'll get an assessment of the playground. We'll have it inspected to make sure it's safe and didn't get anything undermined. But on the cabin, the county has asked us to retain a structural engineer, which will be out here next week, to see if the foundation of the cabin was undermined from this storm. So that's kind of my brief update for this month. I'll keep it on the agenda each month to give you an update where we stand. Any questions?
On the equestrian part of the park, are the stalls, were they damaged?
We did reset some damage. I guess Brad, you want to give an update on the equestrian damage?
Yes, so the first 2 barns near Harmonsville Road, the first barn's very minor damage, mostly debris, mud. The second barn was hit pretty hard with debris. No structural damage that we could find, but there's a lot of debris damage. So a lot of those horse stalls have been undermined. So we're going to have those repacked with screenings and then rematted. The 2 barns on the riverside beside the cabin, there's about 3 4-foot in mud in some of those stalls, and there is some structural damage.
And one thing about the equestrian community, the Blue Ridge Hunter Jumper Association and Fine Riding Hunt Club, they already expressed interest. They may want to raise money and volunteer time to get the equestrian park up and running sooner. So that may be opening up ahead of the other facilities.
Have we lost any events because,
Yes, we have.
cancellation?
The Harmon Field Board canceled all the events, the cabin and so forth until we can. But the equestrian folks still want to get that park opened up sooner, which I think they'll achieve.
Jim, I want to say this for the record. I get people that stop me, I get emails, I get texts, why can't we use Harmon Field? Why can't we use Harmon Field? Why can't we use Harmon Field? And I guess I'm preaching to the choir. Does it not occur to you that if I could open Harmon Field, I would? I mean, common sense would dictate that. The first day somebody got mad and I asked the question, do you know where the riverbank washed out close to the river? No. And I said, we don't either. Do you know where all that wood that broke off with 20 penny nails under the sand? Do you know where that is? No, we don't either. Do you know whether there's any poison or anything like that in that sand? At the time, we didn't know either. That's why we closed it, for your safety. So if you're watching, please be patient.
Another
How much
two,
money have we already spent out there to
I
close
was gonna say
it?
the town board has already authorized up to $300,000 of general fund money to go to Harmon Field.
And the day I went out there, it was so bad, I said $500,000 is what it's gonna cost, and I still think I'm right.
My goal is to, when FEMA money starts coming into the coffers, we created a separate fund to restore Harmon Field. It's not out of Harmon Field, but it's a separate fund, so as money comes back, well, we invest it into the next phase of restoring buildings and so forth. Because I really don't, I can't really recommend the town going any further in fund balance beyond the $300,000 without jeopardizing our finances.
Yes.
Are we able to get any grant money from North Carolina Department of Agriculture? I know in the 2024 Farm Bill, they put in equestrian. So would we be able to get any grant money?
I'm not sure. I guess Brad, have you looked at that fund and what might,
No,
we can definitely look at what's called North Carolina Agriculture.
Yeah, in their 2024 Farm Bill, they put equestrian, like training, facilities, included in Department of
Including
Agriculture.
capital improvement.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Anybody else know anything we don't, please tell us.
I just-
Yeah, thank you. But I think once the cash starts coming in, I'll send emails out to the council to keep you informed, our first money. But I think it's promising. I think there's direction from the federal government to start helping out North Carolina, so that's going to be good news for us.
Do you have any feel for when FEMA does release funds, how long it's gonna take us to recoup what we've already spent?
Well,
I mean, I know that's a loaded question.
yes. Well, it's a little question because initially, the very first meeting, they said it'd be very prompt. Then the next meeting we met with them, they said it might take 2 years. And then I met with them recently and they said it's gonna be quicker now. Part of the money was in the,
It's only been a year and a half.
reoccurring resolution passed by Congress a few weeks ago. That freed up some money. So I keep asking Susan and let me know when the CERB Pro, we have one invoice we've submitted just for $78,000 with a canceled check. Once that money comes in, it'll give us an indication of things are starting to work now. And I said, when the reimbursements come in, it's gonna stay in that fund. We did receive a check for $31,000 from our insurance company for wind damage. FEMA will take that off the top, but, we've got $170,000 just to spend for the mud and debris cleanup, which will go out part of the $300,000 you've already earmarked for us. But, when the money comes in the first one, I think I'll let you guys know that things are now working and I'll feel a little more confident.
And one of the other things that drives you crazy is that we work on a budget from 1 January to 31 December. The state works from 1 July to 30 June. The Fed works from 1 October until 30 September. So if they appropriate Congress right now, is it gonna come into 24, 25 year or the 25, 26 year? Because we were given a grant that's being worked at Breivik, and we were told you got a grant, but it was for the next cycle. They didn't want to tell us that. So there's some kind of hat tricks for some of those people sometimes. You're gonna get it, but you have to be patient. Item 7, road closure for Super Saturday, March 15, 2025. Can you tell us which
I
one?
mean, do we want, yeah, the police
Sure.
chief to,
Yeah.
comment on it? How do you feel about that road closure?
If they got the proper in place, like someone helps support it, like law enforcement or something of that sort. I mean, we've assisted with it in the past.
And you're talking about Melrose?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I've been here a whole long time. We've always done that.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what we were, it's something that's been, this is the 47th year for Super Saturday. It's something that, you know,
And by the way, we have to get this approved because that's one of the roads paved by the state. And technically it's in our town, but the state owns it and paves it.
Yes, that's what she had said, that we have to get approval from you, but then it's by then, so.
Okay, Chair, entertain a motion. Day is 15 March from until, asking.
Approximately 8 until 3:30.
Okay, Chair, entertain a motion.
How many more?
Okay, all in favor, aye. Opposed likewise, motion carries. Item 7. Board appointment to tourism board.
Stephen Seiler is applied to be on that board. I think they have, I was told they have one other, opening, and it can be anybody that's
Okay.
or that is
Stephen,
involved
would
in
you
tourism.
raise your hand? That's who's applying. He works with us in the fire department. I can vouch for him.
Don't do that, sir.
The chair will entertain a motion to.
I make a motion. You make a motion.
Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed likewise? Thank you and welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Item 9.
The town board approved the recommendation to establish additional committees that were done away with over the years. I think the Public Works Utilities Committee and the Finance Committee in particular are going to be two committees that offer great insight and recommendations to the town board. And Mayor, I think years ago we had citizens on the Public Works Committee.
We did.
And so I just want to get feedback from the council members on, I guess the two committees I want to hear feedback on is the Public Works Committee. Do you think citizens would be helpful to add to committee as well as the Finance, HR Committee? So I guess Skip, you're chairman of the.
Yeah, I've reached out to several citizens already with the, would you be interested in it? And I've had some really good feedback. People want to know what's going on in the town, want to offer insight from a citizen standpoint. So, and I've reached out to several residents in the east side. Dr. Fox and Dr. Carson are going to recommend some names for me. And I've got one commitment from Dave Delancey, who some of you might know. Really sharp guy. So a little crazy, but really sharp. And he said he loved it. So
Good talk about me.
So on the Finance Committee, which you're chairman.
Right. So,
What's your
I've
feeling?
not reached out to anyone, but I think that I think we need
I think
citizen
it
input.
helps bring confidence in
Absolutely.
the town if you get others looking at the finances and so forth. So I certainly supportive of it.
I'm very supportive of it. So I think we should do that. We just need to figure out how many and then go and sort of look at who would be interested in doing it. So,
Would you think maybe?
Jim, I'd like to add, when you were here before, you came up with an idea of having a dinner with all the committees and the volunteers of town to honor them. We bought food, everybody got together and they talked, and you had me stand up, and I think I spoke 35 seconds or something like that, and you come to hear me, and we wanted to hear what they had to say. And I would like to at least consider reinstating that next year about this time.
Okay.
Assuming we can go to our place and cook out there. If I remember correctly, did I cook the steaks? I think I cooked the steaks and we fed everybody a small steak.
Well, I guess we could nominate Alan Peoples and Steve Sauter to be co-chairs.
These are much better cooked than I am.
Well, I'm saying I guess probably at least two citizens would be appropriate, I think. We can always add later, but I think, I guess maybe a motion on a council standpoint that we'd like to have up to two citizens be added to the Public Works and the Finance Committees.
I would say three,
Three?
but odd number always seems.
Well, you're on the committee too.
I know, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So the third
Okay.
citizen would be 5.
yeah, the alternate.
You know, the alternate too.
Oh, but they're non-voting typically, or would they be non-voting, the alternate?
I think I think that I'll recommend an alternate because in the past, it's been difficult to get council members to attend some of the functions. In Brevard, where I worked before, we had 2 members from the council attend all the committee meetings. Here, I maybe do a compromise, an alternate, but I would encourage the alternate to attend. That way they're up to speed on what's going on as well. So maybe up to 3 citizens per committee.
I would say that.
Okay.
And one councilman, whether they're the primary or
Yeah.
alternate. Only one voting, if
Yeah.
like 2 were.
Yeah.
That would be mine.
Okay.
Okay, one of the things I thought is, because last week you'd asked if I would come to the Parks Committee.
But at another time it's in conflict.
Well, I had planned to, but we had practice at school and I had a child that didn't have a ride and I couldn't
Right.
walk off. By the time I got here, it was done. But no, I agree. Second three, need a motion?
Yeah, motion.
All in favor, aye? Opposed likewise, motion carries.
We'll seek out applicants and I guess Susan, there's a form that you can complete for.
TDDA update, Tim? Loose on.
Lord,
Which one of you gonna do this
I'm
tonight?
gonna do it today. Tryon Midnight was well attended. We wanted to thank Andy Millard for providing music throughout the evening. Dean Tracus for doing a wonderful job with the ball. I don't know if any of you came to the ball drop. And Kevin Sproles for the bagpipe accompaniment. We hosted a grand opening at the Tryon Rejuvenation Station over at 112 North Trade Street. Thank you for attending. We hosted in conjunction with the Carolina Foothills Chamber. Something that we're trying to do is work a little more cohesively with the chamber so that we can bring the biggest benefit to all of our businesses down here. Thank you to Skip, Tracy, and Julie for assisting us with everything. TDDA will be hosting a grand reopening for the Nest. They're remarketing their business and switching over from an artisan market to a corner market. Tim and I got a little sneak peek, and so we were able, she's trying to do a lot of local cooking condiments, oils, teas, spices. It's gonna be really cool once it's done. She'll still have some artisan things in the back. And her plan in a couple of months is hopefully to have a cooler with local meats and cheeses. She's been talking to Looking Glass, and so I think that'll be a good asset for us to have here in town. And then TDA is requesting a street closure for March 29th from 12 to 2 for April Fool's Day on Trade Street. We've coordinated with the police chief for coverage already as well. And this year, it's gonna be a parade, outhouse races, and trash and show all on Trade Street.
Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to approve the closure of the street on 29 March 2025 from noon to 2 p.m.
Make a motion.
12 to 2.
Have a motion, all in favor, aye? Opposed likewise, motion carries. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm not done yet. Sorry. Chili cook-off will be held
You're
on.
just like your dog.
I know. Chili cook-off will be held on February 28th or February 4th Friday. That's how we're kicking off 4th Fridays. So if anyone wants to cook chili, let me know. Otherwise, hopefully y'all come up to sample. It was a big hit last year. I think people were ready to get out, right? Seemingly a little bit nicer, but still chilly, but people didn't care, and we were bombarded last year. And then off of the TDDA side and more onto the town side, I handed each of you an application for permission to use the logo in an effort to try to streamline these things and have people ask for permission to use the Morris image. A citizen has requested usage of that logo. She's got a booth over at the Tryon Antique Shop. And in the logo app that we found, we had to ask permission from council in order to approve that.
Yeah, I mean, I buy her stickers all the time, so. Keep her in business.
I have the original, so after the meeting, I can have one of you sign it if it's okay with you.
Or is the logo copyrighted or trademarked?
Kind of, barely.
It is by the time.
Yeah, it's non-enforceable. We do all
We do, yeah.
No, we haven't, the state had it, and we got it back.
back from the state. But if you go online, you will find that toy horse that backs all the way up to like 1650 in Germany and all over the world. People have been making the toy wood that looks just like
Except they moved one little black
spot here to there.
Wheels were different.
And that's what we did to get it originally in 1885. We borrowed it from somebody.
You know, because it first came out in 28 and it had green wheels on it. And the people will tell you that it had never had been copyrighted before until the 1980s when that lady said she got it from the state. I have a set of glasses that were copyrighted in 1979. It's Morris on it. I may have the old ones left, but Morris was copyrighted in 1979. I know.
There was a barware and jewelry copyright, but that was all of it, not on posters, papers.
I think the copyright, when I looked at it, it's the likeness, right? It's very specific about what it is. Do you know offhand or?
I can put that on my drawer.
Okay, yeah, but it's, go ahead.
Are we charging for this or we just
That would be up to you,
Well, I
Paul. There's
always
no
thought we
fee.
ought to charge a nominal fee, and
Yeah.
that money go back to TDDA or something like that to be spent over time.
I mean, there's no fee attached to the current
Understand.
application as it is, but I also know that this is sort of a new process. So it would be completely up to,
You know, this is the first time we've been asked.
I know.
I like that idea, maybe not for the likeness, but for every unit they sell.
It's a royalty.
Yes.
It's a royalty based on units sold, and they simply self-report every year, you know.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem either way with that, but if we own it, we should capitalize.
That's right.
Because any money we get obviously goes back to this town.
Okay.
And we can, you can say, okay, we're gonna do this, and it'll be a flower fund, or it'll be a parade fund, whatever you choose.
Do you all want to set an amount or?
I would make it a flat
Research.
$50 or $25 annual fee or lifetime fee for 100. I don't know. I did, but, I mean, I look at it that Morris has been out there in the world for everybody to use for as long as I've been around here. Enforcing it is gonna be almost impossible. So keep it simple, you know, she filled out the app, charge her $25, say thank you, see you next week.
You know, the next question is gonna be because you got plastic, you got glass, you got cloth, you got, is that for anything you wanna do? And one of the reasons I like this is because you don't have 15 people doing the same thing, and then there are 5 other things that nobody does.
It can be registered as a design mark as opposed to a use mark, as a representative of the town of Tryon and applicable across the board, across the different trademarks or whatever. You don't have to lay it out in the actual trademark application form. I have several trademarks, and I have 2 design marks. I think I know what your office is.
Yeah.
And I think I can.
Yeah. Okay.
Look at it with him, see what he has.
Okay.
And then make a recommendation.
Okay.
I don't have a problem if Jim does that when y'all decide on it.
Yeah, okay. We can bring it to Jim. Okay. That would be fine, yeah.
And on the chili, how are we doing judging this time around?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
We actually need a judge.
If any of you are
We
interested.
asked one person sitting up here who's a vegetarian.
We got it last year. We'll get it.
Yeah, I don't think you could, I don't think you can.
Yeah. So we do, Tracy, Mayor Peoples, yes, if any of you would like to be a formal judge. So we're doing it the same way. We're doing Judge's Choice gets the cauldron that Katie currently has. And then we'll have a People's Choice, but we are gonna sell tickets instead of doing $1.
So you get a
Yeah.
$5 ticket, you
Right.
get a spoon,
And the funds from it will go to benefit the Tryon Fire Alliance, the nonprofit organization that supports the emergency responders.
Cool.
So.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you,
Thank
man.
you.
Item 11 is town clerk retirement reception in Depot Community Room, 28 January from 4 to 6 p.m.
Yeah, we reserved the Depot Community Room, next Tuesday, 4 to 6 p.m. The town employees get off of work around 4 o'clock, so I'd like to have them, try to get it. But I guess one thing too, we'll both say more later on, but, I sort of like, when I came here the first time, you were up in the front window, cashier, then became town clerk when I was here to manage the first time. Now you're leaving me when the other end of this career, but,
Well, good. I've learned this. There's a new grandbaby, no competition. We lose.
so an opportunity for the non-employees and the town board, but the community to stop by and thank Susan for her years of service here.
Okay. Item 12, minimum housing planning.
160 Cleveland Road, I have the hearing set for February 17th. Send, report or the I can't think of the word, the order out, for the owner, that he gets his opportunity to come in and explain how he could possibly rehab the house for more or less than half of what it's worth, but it might prove difficult. So that's all I got on that one.
Okay. 13, Jim?
Couple of things. We recently held our first Little Grade Committee meeting. This is a citizen group with the town board to start doing the brainstorming of what do we need to do to get ready for the Little Grade Trail when it comes in. And so we had our first meeting and we gave an assignment out to the committee members to come back with many items they can think we should be addressing, like public restrooms, bike racks, whatever. Then I just want to update too, as you know, the town board is part of the lawsuit that you may have read in the paper or saw on local television stations. I got interviewed by WSPA, Channel 7 recently. Why is the town involved? As you know, I came to the town and recommended me to get involved because you're suing the federal government, yes, but the federal government's got a program that they will compensate the property owners along the trail based on appraisals. And so the law firm that we retained is doing all the appraisals, all the expense of that. And the town owns 4 parcels with a tax value around $1 million. I'm not sure how much money we'll get back from that, but my thought is if it's 100,000, 200,000, whatever, that my recommendation is that we take that money and reinvest it in these improvements that we probably need for the trail. But we can talk about it later on, but that's why, we're a party to it. We could choose not to be a party to it at all, but you wouldn't get any money. So I did share this with the city of Inman, South Carolina. I think they've done the same thing. They've decided to join in because they own a lot of acreage along the track down there as well. And the other thing is, the audit report was supposed to be here tonight, and it's not the audit firm's problem. They've been waiting for our CPA firm to put the financial statements together, and they've had some staff illnesses, and they hope to have it done in a couple of weeks. So my feedback I want to get back from this group here is I recommend that, Mayor, that we call a special meeting between now and the next meeting if it comes back sooner. But I think that, especially with 3 new members in the council, we had a very good presentation last year by the audit firm, and it would take about 45 minutes to an hour, and I think it would be well worth the effort to have a special meeting.
This may be the prettiest one we've had in years. The other one has some ugly stuff.
But is that, I guess, once I get the statements, I recommend that I'll get a hold of you, have a special meeting that works out for the whole board.
Okay.
Thank you. Let me report.
Okay, council mayor, start with Tracy, then Julie, then Bill, then Skip, then me.
I don't really have anything except, Susan, thank you for your many years of service and have fun with the Britain baby.
I just want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. It's a really cold night, so thank you for making that effort.
There's snow on the ground.
Is there snow now? I thought Susan's party was a surprise, so I'm glad you. And I wanted to thank Public Works. They did a great job when we had the snowstorm a couple weeks ago, and the roads, still clearing debris from people's front yards from Hurricane Helene. Thank you very much. That's it, safety.
I guess we're starting to enforce the new sidewalk ordinance. Alrighty. And we were gonna have a professional parking study done. Is that
Yes,
done? Or
we have a survey we just recently got the survey they constructed. I can send that out to you next week, or next couple days, I should say. We're gonna probably, like we did with the comprehensive plan, I'll probably make a website that says tryandparkingstudy.com and people can go online and take it there just to try to get, and we'll hand them out. I have to see what the date range is, but we'll hand them out as best we can.
Are they doing a map? will it have, just?
It's just survey questions at this point. They are going to
Oh,
talk
okay,
with
so
people
the
down.
survey has not been done. They haven't walked the town and said you can put,
Well, we did initially, the regional commission came out, we had a bunch of people, we walked around, kind of initial eyes on situation, then they're gonna do the survey, and then the more it progresses, I'm sure they'll have a map with opportunities there. But it's still going.
and thank you for all your years. We appreciate it. And the staff for being here. I walked Woodland Park the other day. It's in excellent shape. So, yeah, your guys, whoever's taking care of Woodland's doing a really
It's your
good
Parks
job.
Committee. I've attended the Parks Committee.
Mm-hmm.
That committee is surprising because they have like 6 members on it, maybe 7 now. They're actually a working committee. They go out there in the weekend and do work details. And they work close to, I gave them Greg McCool's cell phone number. So there's a much cooperation between the city and the Parks Committee. And I try to attend all their meetings if I can. And so they're very appreciative of what the town's been doing, but they do a lot of work. The Vaughn Street, Greenway, it's a lot of labor they donated. So it's a wonderful committee, and Greg Miner's the new chairman. John Bonnie stepped down recently. And then Greg Miner's also your appointment to Harmon Field Board, so there's a good continuity there. And I want to thank Brad Gordon. Brad's been attending the Parks Committee meeting. So they're really very happy with the support they're getting from the town now.
Another one, quick question. You know, the sewer line that came down from like near LaBarge, down to Woodland Park. Do we own a strip of that land, or is that just a sewer line easement?
Definitely an easement. Any about
Is
that,
it
Greg?
private property?
I know we got an easement.
Well, the reason I'm asking is, we walk it now. I mean, it's getting a good trail. The bear and deer have really got a good trail going,
A lot
so
of
we're
communities
staying on it.
have taken the sewer easement and allowed trails to go through.
And
With Bond Creek, for example, years ago, we had the sewer easement through there. Then you have a sewer system overflow. Now with the trail down through there, if there's a sewer leak there, we're getting a quick response from people that walk that trail now, which would be the old days you would never known about.
Yeah.
So that helps us.
And that trail down through there, that started at Woodland Park, the people who bought Hidden House and my neighbor and I have all said the town would have easements to right away wants to go a walkway through there.
that'd be great.
So
We just need to go through.
that's done, we just need to get it all the way back up Melrose Avenue, and that's the last group that's there says they will do it, so it's a matter of time.
Cool.
Thank you.
Sir, also want to thank Susan for her service to the town. I'm sorry I didn't get to know you better, being a newbie, but thank you and best of luck in your retirement. Also want to thank the Public Works and the Police Department, and Fire Department for letting me hang around and see what's going on. So I know I've been probably a little pain, but, and I'll be back because and Greg, thank you for driving me around the town. I want the Cadillac tour next time. So thank you.
And don't have a lot, folks, except I know what our people do. I watched what they did during Helene. I watched what they did during the snowstorm. I watch what they do every day. So my hat's off to you, ladies and gentlemen. Susan, known you a long time. Hate to see you go, but I don't blame you. I go spoil that granddaughter too. That being said, thank y'all. Chair will have a motion to adjourn.
Are we?
Yeah,
Yeah, citizen comment. But, question,
I checked it off too fast.
are we gonna go into, are we gonna actually reschedule another meeting for the audit report? Are we just gonna put this?
When I get the audit report comes in, I'll immediately contact the mayor to schedule a special meeting.
Okay,
I can call a meeting of 3 of y'all can.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Citizen comments.
It's cold outside.
Cheryl will now correctly say. Motion to adjourn.
make a motion.
All in favor, aye? Opposed likewise? We're adjourned.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's-